Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasser. And what do we have on tap for you today? Well, I want to give you my summary of what I think, as of today, is going to happen with the Electoral College votes coming this November between Trump and Biden. Now, I know I made a pretty big, bold claim there of 326 electoral votes. Now, do I think that's going to happen? You know what? Everything would have to fall into place according to what I'm thinking for that to happen. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it going to happen? Like I said before, everything would have to fall in place. But let me go ahead and give you what I think right now is that pathway to 326, and then you can agree or not. But anyways, let's take a look at this map right now. The way that we've done this, folks, is the following. Right now, we've got Joe Biden with 226. The Republicans, Donald Trump, with 251. That's the calculation as of right now. And the way it is that the dark blue are the safe blue, the light blue are the likely, and then when you've got that shaded blue, that's leans. We go to the Republican side, dark red is safe, a little bit less red is going to be likely, and the pink is leans. Now, according to Real Clear Politics, folks, they've only got 6 states that they're talking about as battleground states right now. Only 6. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. They don't even include Florida anymore as a battleground state. It's safely in the red corner, folks. No longer Ohio, it's safely in red, and so is Iowa, safe in red. North Carolina is safe in red. So right now, Donald Trump has got 251 electoral votes. And why is that, folks? Because of the state of Georgia. He's up by 5, folks, inside there, and it doesn't seem, it's only going to get bigger out there. So I've already given Donald Trump Georgia out of that battleground state to begin with. So that gives him 251. Without that, he'd be 234, but 235. But right now, my analysis is showing that Trump has got Georgia. And to give you an idea, let's take a look at the Real Clear Politics before we start looking at this map. And I'll show you what I mean by the latest polls according to the Real Clear Politics map. Let's go to that right now. So as you can see here in the most recent Georgia, he's up 48.5 to 41.7. He's up by 6.8. He's up by nearly 7 points, folks, in the state of Georgia. That's only going to get bigger. That's only going to get bigger. You take a look at Nevada, he's up by 7, folks. He's up by 7 in Nevada. 7. You take a look at Wisconsin, he's only up by a point or half a point right now. And if you take a look at Michigan, he's nearly up by 5 in Michigan. Arizona, he's up by 4.5. And the only battleground state in which Biden right now, according to Real Clear Politics, is up, Biden's up by 0.6, a half a point in the state of Pennsylvania, folks. That's just when they only link only Biden and Trump. So again, up by nearly 5 in Arizona. Let's call him down by 1 in Pennsylvania. He's up by 1 in Wisconsin, up by 5 in Michigan. He's up by 7 in Georgia, and he's up by 7 in Nevada. Now, I want to take you to something else in Real Clear Politics and show you what happens when you include the independents and the Green Party. It even gets better for Trump. Let's go to that right now. So, folks, here you've got the Emerson poll, latest. If you take a look, Georgia up by 6. North Carolina, he's up by 3 right now. But here's what happens, folks. When you include Trump and Biden and you include Kennedy or Cornel West or Jill Stein, he goes up by 9. He goes up by 9, folks. And this is only going to get even larger. In PA, according to Emerson, actually, he's up by 2, whereas he was down by 1 in Real Clear Politics. But guess what happens, folks? You include Kennedy and West and Stein in this here. Guess what happens? The lead goes up to 5 to Trump. So it's nearly a 6-point swing when you add the others into the mix. Let's go right back to the electoral map and I'll show you what my mathematics are in terms of the best case scenario of how Trump can get to 326. We'll go to that right now. Okay, folks, here it is. As we said, he starts off with 251, Joe Biden 226. We talked about Georgia. That's his for the taking right now. Let's move up north. I have a feeling, folks, I know Virginia I put down here as leans, but if everything progresses, there's a strong possibility. We saw what happened in the other election. Okay, what happened in Virginia and the shenanigans or whatever was going on with those dumps that occurred late in the night. So who knows what's going on, but I have a feeling that Virginia is going to be very closely contested, folks. But right now, I'm giving it leans Democrat. But Pennsylvania, I am absolutely just with everything the way that it is right now, I just can't see Pennsylvania going to Joe Biden. You're going to in the Philadelphia areas, in the Pittsburgh areas, you're going to see less black vote come out in support of Biden. Trump is going to increase his share of the black support in both those areas. In Erie County, he's going to clean up. He's also going to do something, okay, in the eastern part of the state as well. I have a feeling that Pennsylvania is going to go to Donald Trump. So let's go ahead and make that red. Same thing in Michigan, folks. He is losing support in Detroit in areas where there is notoriously huge black turnout for the Democrats. Biden is losing support with blacks. He's losing support with the Muslim community in Dearborn, Michigan. You've got a huge population out there. This is not going to be like it was in COVID with all those mail-in ballots and all the other stuff that went on over there. I have a feeling, as I said before, you've got the third-party candidates inside there that are going to siphon away votes. The same thing as in Pennsylvania, they're going to siphon away those votes, those third-party candidates. Michigan is going to go into Trump's favor. So let's go ahead and click that. And we're at 285, and it's over, folks. And I said before, all he needs is Pennsylvania. That's it. Out of those 5, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona, if he gets PA and he gets Georgia, game over, folks. Game over. Michigan gets him 15. Now he's at 285. He's already won the presidency. Same thing for Wisconsin. Same demographics. Same thing across. It's that blue wall that they talked about. The same thing's going to happen as in 2016. The other thing with Wisconsin, no drop boxes as before, no ballot harvesting as was done before. They're not going to be allowed to just mail those ballots to anybody that they want like they did in COVID. And then who knows what came back. There was no who knew what the custodial chain was. Who knew from where it went, from the time the person signed it to the time the person sent it in? Did the signatures match? They didn't do any of that, folks. None of that occurred. which is why Wisconsin went to Biden. You got the people, the college area in Wisconsin, those students, those kids, they're not voting for Biden, folks. I mean, there's a double whammy inside there. This whole Israeli-Palestinian debacle is going to weigh heavily on Biden and the Democrats as well. The Biden administration, the way they handled everything, people are upset. You've got young people that are upset. That's going to weigh. Wisconsin is also going to go to Trump. So that puts him at 295. Let's go all the way to Nevada. White whale for Republicans in the past, but right now he's up by 7 over there. Demographics are changing. A lot of Hispanics are coming over to vote. He's going to increase his share of the Hispanic vote as well, folks, this time, as well as a black turnout. I think he's going to get above 20%. Definitely, I think he's going to get 15%. It's going to be in that 15 to 25% of the black vote. I think he's going to touch somewhere in the low to mid 40s of the Hispanic vote, folks. So Nevada is going to go to Trump as well. So that's going to put him at 301. Now you've got Arizona. Same thing in Arizona. This is going to change. I think Kerry Lake is going to, win the Senate over there. So now you've got him at 312 already. Same thing in Arizona, folks. They're not going to be able to do the same thing that they did in 2020. They're not going to be able to get away with it. They're, all the things that they pulled at that time with the voting in Mesa and Maricopa and all that, it's just not going to happen again. And the amount of Latino vote, the Hispanic vote, the drop in the black vote, the increase in the vote from the suburbs for Trump, that's just going to increase, folks. So right now he's at 312. Now, how did I get to 326? Well, these are my two sleepers that I'm looking at, and those are the following: Minnesota at 10 and New Hampshire. Now, both of those Biden won by comfortably by 7 points, somewhere between 7 and 7.4 points, both of those. But if the disillusionment continues with the Democratic Party, if over the summer things continue to get worse, or the economy just basically stays the same, and once the debates are there, I think this is a winning proposition for Trump. If they decide not to debate, that's just going to help Trump even more. If they do debate, it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath, folks, or whatever. But I know it's a stretch, but if everything goes the way that it is, and you've got that roll that's going on, at least from the East Coast onward, and the Rust Belt and the Sun Belt going in, I can foresee where Minnesota, I know it's going to be tough, but if he can eke out something in Minnesota, and you put Minnesota in his column, let's see, cycle this through here, Minnesota, and then the other one is New Hampshire. Could that be something, folks? You know what? I know there's a lot of, what happened in the primary in New Hampshire with Nikki Haley. But there's a lot of disgruntled people in New Hampshire, folks. There's a lot of people out there in the suburbs. I know that's a very, very liberal area. It's tough. It was close with Hillary Clinton. The question is going to be is the dissatisfaction among the independents and the young voters and the third party candidates that come inside there are going to siphon off enough votes that Donald Trump has a chance to come inside there and get those disaffected voters, and others inside there and put that in his column. You do that, as I said before, there's your 326 votes. That's sort of my math. That's sort of my calculus in just an absolute, scenario where everything just goes right for Donald Trump on election night. 326 is not out of the possibility. Is it a stretch? No, absolutely. But you know what? Even without that, as I said before, he's still well over 300 points. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. We hope you enjoyed this. If you like the content, we'd love for you to subscribe. You know what to do. Like, share, and follow us. Check out our video links above and below. I'll leave you with my final thought as always, which is when you're right, you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.